Hey, what's up friends? कैसा सभी लोग? Welcome back to another video. So friends, कैसा सभी लोग? स्वागत है सभी का स्टोरी रीडिंग सेगमेंट के एक और वीडियो में. So friends, आज हम दोबारा से पढ़ने जा रहे हैं The Lord, the God, the legendary cricketer, batsman, human being, Sachin Tendulkar. So we had read about Indian records, India's record on the foreign soil from 1932, and when India started performing well on foreign soil, and that period starting from around 1977, and then we were about to talk about the 1991, the Australian tour. The 1991 Test series was to begin at the Wollongabba in Brisbane. Wollongabba, that means the Gabba in the Brisbane. The Gabba, which India just conquered in 2019 or 2020 January. So yeah, at the Wollongabba in the Brisbane. A venue known for its pace and its bounce. Yeah, the pace and the bounce. It was to be preceded by two one-day games and just one three-day game that gave the visitors hardly any time to acclimatize and adapt. For Team India, season had got off to a frantic start. A tri-series at Sharjah against Pakistan and the West Indies was to have been followed by bilateral ODI series at home against Pakistan. However, the Pakistan series was called off in the wake of political protests and replaced by a three-match ODI series against South Africa, the last game of which ended hours before the Indian team departure for Australia. Two ODI series on flat wickets hardly constituted the ideal way in which to prepare for a tour on which most of the games, if not all, would be played on wickets that would have something in them for the bowlers. Indian fans were also concerned about how the Australians themselves were viewing the upcoming engagement. A lot had changed in the 1985-86. They had been struggling to cope with the simultaneous retirements of the legendary troika of Dennis Lillee, Rodney Marsh, and Greg Chappell. So Greg Chappell, Dennis Lillee, and Rodney Marsh had retired, as well as the loss of more than a dozen top cricketers who had undertaken a rebel tour of apartheid-stricken South Africa and had been slapped with a 3-year ban from all official cricket as a result. So some top cricketers and a dozen of top cricketers. So some top cricketers had also been banned for 3 years from all types of official cricket. From 1985 to 87, Alan Border and Bob Bimson, the Australian captain and cricket manager, respectively, groomed a band of youngsters and steered their side through some turbulent times. The team's resurgence commenced with an unexpected triumph in the 1987 World Cup and culminated in the form of an Ashes victory in England in 1989. Awaiting the Indians in the Australian summer of 1991-92 were the pacemen Craig McDermott, Bruce Reid, Merv Hughes and Mike Whitney, and batters David Boone, Jeffrey Marth, Dean Jones, Mark Waugh and Alan Border himself. Ian Healy had done enough in the 3 years of Ian Healy had done enough in 3 years of international cricket to be considered the best wicketkeeper in the world. The Australians were expected to be assertive and aggressive. They lived up to their expectations. February 1992. After that, on that tour of Australia, I had the opportunity to bat in probably every condition and situation that a batsman can conceivably encounter in his career. By the grace of God, I was successful, and when you put as results of that kind at the age of 18 or 19, you start thinking differently. The assurance I gained on that trip has stayed with me till this day. Sachin Tendulkar, from Learners to Readers, Platinum Jubilee Commemorative Volume, BCCI 2008. I can still vividly remember the crack on the fourth wicket from where the ball was deviating dangerously off the track. The rest of the Indian batsmen struggled for survival at the center, and Sachin stood tall, not just negotiating the upward bounce but belting the ballers disdainfully. Under the shadow of Sachin, it looked as if the batsman at the other end had been sent into the oblivion. The common chorus that often rang in the dressing room was, "Why can't he give the strike to Sachin?" Javagal Srinath, India Today, September 2010. Yes, we talked about that. You know how the Australian perspective of the 1991 tour was. They had won the 87 World Cup. There were some youngsters, and there were some, I mean, some absolute great batsmen and fiery bowlers waiting for the Indians to come and play, to come and to come and keep the leg on the Australian soil, on the Gaba, on the woolen Gaba, Brisbane. So Sachin performed very well in that tour, and he was one of the batsmen. I mean, he was the only batsman to have performed very well. And people in the dressing room said that, why can't this non-striker? I mean, why can't the batsman playing with Sachin give strike to Sachin, and Sachin will handle? He handled the bounce, he handled the swing, he handled the length, the consistency, the accuracy of the great bowlers of Australia. So this was the first Sachin Tendulkar's first overseas tour, which went well, and it was maybe Australia, I would say, are one of the most difficult places to bat after England and South Africa, because bowlers get a lot of help here. There is bounce in, we go to Gaba, there's bounce, there's swing at Gaba, we go to Melbourne, we go to Sydney Cricket Ground, we go to MCG, there's CG, there's spin, there's swing also. And I remember, I have noticed that usually the day night tests or the ping ball tests are usually played either at the SCG, the MCG, or the Adelaide Oval, which has a lot of swing and spin. And the most difficult, I think, after Gaba, the pitches, that is Waka, Perth. Western Australia Cricket Association ground, Waka, Perth, is unbelievable. It's bounce, it has bounce. The ball can, it can come to your helmet from good length, or it can be a drive length ball from a short ball. There's a lot uneven balls. The ball can bounce more also. The ball will not bounce at all. It will keep very low, or the ball will come very slow. When it will come at a slow speed, or it will, after bouncing or after tipping, after the ball lands, it will come very fast. Like when you practice from a side arm, when the ball tips, when the ball hits the ground, it comes very fast. It comes like, for example, it takes 10 seconds to reach 20 meters, so it will take 1 second to reach 3 meters or 4 meters. It comes very fast. And I played for the sidearm, and the first time the ball was coming very slow, so I thought that I will play a shot. I will play aggressive shot. But when the ball bounced, it came so fast that I completely missed the ball and I got out, because when the ball bounces on the Waka, either it will come very fast, or either it will come very slow and it will not bounce at all. So this was Sachin's first tour in the overseas soil, and I hope you like this video. और अगर आपको वीडियो अच्छा लगा तो इस वीडियो को लाइक करें, शेयर करें और मेरे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना ना भूलेगा। और अगर आप चाहते हैं कि मैं ऐसे और वीडियो लाते रहूँ तो इस वीडियो में मैं एम करता हूँ 20 लाइक्स का, जल्दी से लाइक का बटन दबा दीजिए। तो फिर कितना ही मिलते हैं अगली वीडियो में, तब तक के लिए स्टे होम, स्टे सेफ एंड गुड बाय, सी यू सून, जय हिंद।